We love sharing these stories with you through the Hiking Through Life podcast, and we're so grateful that you listen to this podcast. If you'd like to support the Hiking Through Life podcast further, we have these amazing new t-shirts and water bottles. The t-shirts come in 4 colors, and the water bottles are perfect for trails, adventuring, or daily use. Consider checking them out at hikingthroughlife.net/shop.
Use the code PODCAST and receive 10% off your first order. This is the Hiking Through Life podcast. We've all been gifted a journey called life. Let's see where the journey leads us today. Welcome to the Hiking Through Life podcast. I'm Andy.
And I'm Sarah.
And today we are joined by my younger brother Nate to learn more about his little journey. He's got an exciting journey coming up to Nepal. But first off, we'd like to say welcome, Nate.
Hi, guys.
And to give you a little bit of background on Nate, he's my younger brother, a couple years younger than me, and he's a outgoing person who is really into meeting new people, going on adventures, and
he's always looking to help. He's always looking to lend a helping hand and just talk to people and make new friends anywhere he goes. And ladies, just so you know, he is single.
Yeah. So, another little bit about Nate. He is also very into the activities at his church. He's into kids ministry, and he actually went out to school out in California. And Nate, do you want to talk a little bit about your experience out there in California?
Yeah, so I went to the school called Iris Ministry School. I went out the fall of 2014 to about the spring of 2015, just doing some learning about leadership in the church and training on how to become a leader and how to start ministries, which really got me into wanting to do more with the ministry side of traveling and getting to know people through that.
Yeah, and you've done a few pretty cool mission trips that took you outside of the U.S. Do you want to just recap those real quick for the listeners?
Yeah, I'd love to. So the first 2 places I went to do missions was out in Kenya and Tanzania, and that was in 2013 in the springtime. And then after I was done doing Iris, I went to Haiti, and then I went to Mexico as well.
I just got to ask, out of all those trips, what was like the most impactful one you've had so far? Or maybe it's too hard to choose.
Yeah, honestly, I think the most impactful one I had was Haiti. Just walking around, did a lot of traveling through the cities that we went to, the villages, and just seeing the lifestyles of people living there. Just, I think out of all the trips, the one thing that I would take away from it, not only with just loving on people too, but also just making those connections, making those relationships, with the people from the different places I've been to.
So when you were in these places, was there anything that shocked you about the way they lived their lifestyle?
Honestly, there really wasn't. I kind of had that mindset of going, got prepared and pretty much was like, all right, they're gonna be living the way they do differently from us, and honestly, it was awesome just seeing how they lived and how generous and hospitable each person was when I went to these different places.
Awesome. And I'm sure some of the food that you got to try was pretty incredible over there too, huh?
Yeah, authentic food from those places is pretty good.
Awesome. So let's talk about your upcoming travel plans. Where are you going to be taking off here in a couple weeks?
Yeah, so I am going to be going to the Himalayas through my church, Grove Community Church, and we'll be leaving July 22nd through August 5th, so about 2 weeks or so of traveling. We're going to be doing a lot of trekking, so it's going to be intensive, but I'm ready for it. And we're going to go to a city actually called Jiri, which is about 8 hours from Kathmandu, which is I think, the capital of Nepal, and just going to be really involved with serving the people in the villages throughout the trip. We're going to be, of course, just connecting with them as well too, and just having fun.
Do you guys have any like special projects that you have planned while you're there, or is it just more traveling and just connecting with people?
Yeah, so as of now, it's just traveling, connecting with people. I'm sure as we get there, there's going to be some projects popping up left and right, which I like because, spontaneous stuff I love a lot.
So you said you're going to be doing a lot of trekking. Where are you going to be staying while you're there?
Yeah, so when we get into Kathmandu, we'll be staying at a base through a ministry called Fire Fragrance. And then after that, we'll be staying in people's homes. A lot of times, we'll be staying in upstairs above tea shops in small rooms with our teammates.
So as far as staying in people's homes and maybe staying in above tea shops, what kind of things do you have to pack and be prepared for in those sleeping accommodations?
Yeah, so we have to bring, of course, a sleeping pad that we can be able to sleep on. That can be compacted into a small bundle when traveling. Of course, a sleeping bag that's warm enough for us at night, because it does get cold up there. Yeah, for sleeping that. Other than that, pretty much our hiking boots. Of course, when we trek around, a travel towel to use. Yeah, so pretty much those essentials.
Do you guys hike through the mountains up in Nepal, or is it just more in the city?
Yeah, so we're actually going to be taking a bus the first day to Jiri, and then the rest of the time we're going to be trekking throughout the mountains. Elevation is going to be at least 15,000, 16,000 above sea level, which is going to be intense, but it's going to be worth it.
That'll be something to get acclimated to. So do you guys have like maybe a couple days where you're not doing such intense stuff, so you get acclimated to the altitude?
Yep, there'll be a few days where we'll be just spending time in the villages with the people there and just getting to know how they do their lifestyles and stuff day to day.
That sounds cool.
That sounds so neat. I just think that's such an awesome opportunity for you to be able to have. So how exactly did you get involved in this? Was it like just a sign up and you were accepted to do this opportunity, or how did that look?
Yeah, so Nepal, the Himalayas wasn't the only trip. There's many trips through my church that I could have chosen to go to, but I really felt led that to go to the Himalayas, and it seemed like, because it's in one of the intensive trips out of all the trips, I was like, I'm gonna do it. I want to actually be above sea level, like 16,000 feet. I want to feel what be there, how it feels like and stuff. And so I applied and got accepted right away. So yeah.
Awesome. So are you paying for this trip? Is the church funding it? How does that work?
Yeah, so we're actually supposed to fund ourselves. There is, of course, people that are going to be raising funds through it, maybe doing garage sales or bake sales. And there is a way, if, people want to help support us, there is a way to do it through the church on the website, and it tells you step by step how to do it. And yeah.
And what website would they go to do that?
So they would go to Grove Community Church. Just type it in Google, you'll find it right away. And then you will go to the giving part of it, and then it'll tell you to give once, monthly. Of course, you give once. And then it'll tell you, like, do you want to give to a mission trip? Do you want to give to the church? You click on the mission trips. And then once you click on that, you'll find the names of people going. And then you click on, my name or whoever's name, and just give how much you want to give.
So you could click on Nate Kermode after you get there, and We'll have a link in the description of this episode, so you guys can navigate to that right away. So yeah, that sounds like an awesome trip, and we're definitely gonna help support you, and hopefully this gets out and encourages others to do so. Even if they don't want to support you monetarily, they can at least, send their prayers and thoughts with you on this journey.
Yeah. Awesome.
Is there anything that we didn't touch on, Nate, that you're hoping to touch on? Or do you want to share with the listeners, what are you hoping to get out of this trip other than build relationships and community with people over there?
Yeah, that's a great question. Of course, building relationships and community is awesome, but I think for me personally, what I want to get out of the trip is just like how intensive the trip's going to be, and how like I can push myself to just get out there and be like, all right, I know I'm really tired, but I can keep going. And also just having a great relationship with God and the Lord, and just like spending time with Him while trekking with my teammates, and just being able to like, all right, it's just you and I, and just having that. And I think too, just with the connections, and building those too is huge with my teammates, and then those who we meet along the way up to the villages and stuff. And that way we just be like, all right, we met you, and if you have any prayer requests, we'll pray for them, or just, I don't know, I'm excited for it.
I think that's going to be a very powerful experience for you. Yeah, I know we're looking forward to following you along on your journey. You keep talking about this team that you're going to be with. How many people are on that team with you?
Yeah, there's going to be 13 of us, and it's awesome. Since day one of us getting together as a team, we've been training for it. We've been going out running every single time we can, get together.
And are these all people that are new to you, or some old friends?
Yep, so some are new, some I've known for a couple of years through my church. And yeah, we've just been getting together as a team every single time we can, and just building those relationships before we go.
Are they various age ranges, or are they kind of all around your age?
Yep, so they're all in their 20s, so pretty much around my age.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, it does sound like a pretty intense trip too, when you think about being up in the Himalayas, that altitude, and it sounds like you guys are doing a lot of training for it beforehand, which is awesome. And I think that, yeah, even with all of our backpacking that we do, it's relatable too, where you can't just go out there right away and expect to, conquer everything in your path. You got to work up to it. So I think that's kind of a good lesson to take away too, is that you got to prepare yourself for what is to come. And it sounds like you and the people on the team are definitely doing that this time. So that's great. And I think, is there anything else that you wanted to just share with the listeners or get out there about either this trip or about yourself?
Yeah, I would say if anything, like an opportunity pops up, anything that's a small opportunity or a big opportunity, go for it, because you never know. Like, there's so many opportunities that I've missed that popped up, and I feel like just go for it, because you never know, it might be a once in a lifetime thing. And if you have financial issues, or if you have just anything that gets in the way, go out and ask for help. Like, there's so many people out there, that friends, family, that are so supportive, even if you don't think they are, and just go for it.
That's true. That's very true. You can't just go through this life all by yourself. We as humans need the help of others and community around us. So that's a very good point, is, if you are struggling to make it in some way or another, that you can always reach out and ask for that help, and don't be afraid to do that.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge thing that we saw you doing and learned from you when you were out in California, Nate, was that you were always asking the community that you built out there for support and help, because you kind of went out there alone attain your dream, but you built a community around you, and it's clear that they supported you, they loved you, you still keep in contact with them, and it just sounds like this great community that was built. And yeah, just not allowing yourself to ask for help is what people need to not be scared of.
Yeah, so go out there and go for it. I think that's the message today. So thanks for listening. If you feel like you would want to support Nate, please go to the link in our podcast description and go, and we'll have instructions there on how you can help donate to his trip. And we just want to say thank you to Nate for sharing this journey of yours, and it was a pleasure having you on the podcast.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You've been listening to the Hiking Through Life podcast. Peace, love, and hike through life.